Welcome back to Chow Time Pod. It's your host, Red. I got a video today from O'Shea Duke Jackson. You know, he made a video on a gentleman that laughed at Kevin Samuels' death. You know, him and his co-host. I remember watching this video. I don't know this gentleman that well. I don't watch his content or anything. I'm not really here to bash him all that much. But O'Shea's here doing that for me in a sense. I'm a big fan of The Godfather. And I have reasons why I am. So please like subscribe down below. I really appreciate that. And let's get to that chow. It's chow time.
Kevin Samuels was a polarizing individual, no doubt about that. Wherever he went, there he was. And when he went live on YouTube or debated people on podcasts, he shook up the room. That was just the kind of man he was. He did it without begging for GoFundMes or Patreons or PayPals.
I do see that, you know, that's why I don't have a Patreon. I don't have PayPal. I don't put my Cash Apps or anything down there. I just have my membership. I might make some merchandise with the Chow Time logo on it if you guys are interested. And then, you know, I do put myself up on Rumble too. And I'm okay with the ad revenue. It's been wonderful. I'm making an extra like $800 to $900 a month from doing this for right now. And I really appreciate you guys for helping me out with this.
He just did it with the facts, charm, charisma, and style. And he left it on the internet. He didn't go around talking about people or causing problems. He just did what he had to do, and that was that. And so when he passed away on May 5th, 2022, there were a myriad of haters that came out after him. Now, some of those haters were guys who were hating on him while he was still living, and they flipped the script and acted like they was his friend once he passed away. We all know who those people were. But
you know, some people always want to say, why do I call him the Godfather? Why do people call, like, even though there's other people in the space before him, like Tom Likas. I listened to Tom Likas, but I was too young to understand. You know, I wasn't ready. I've listened to quite a few other people, you know, but Kevin was the one that actually kind of reached me, right? Sometimes you're not ready to listen to some things, and sometimes you gotta hear it a certain way from a certain someone to kind of hit home. And Kevin was that person for me. And that's why I do look up to him and just like call him the Godfather, because to me, he was the Godfather for me to introduce me, that fully immerse me into this content. I know it's not like that for everyone, but I understand. That's why I don't, you know, like push it for anything. And I understand that it's not like that for everyone.
But for the most part, I want to give a shout out to those idiots who kept that same energy. One of those people who was very nonchalant about it was a guy by the name of Kev on Stage. Who? Now, Kev on Stage is some sort of internet comedian. I'm not necessarily sure what he does. He's been making these sorts of, you know, like dusty clips for over, I don't know, like 10 years. And he's channeled that particular situation to a podcast that nobody really cares about. But despite that fact, he was one of the guys hating on Kevin Samuels. And I want you guys to remember this clip that he put right after Kevin Samuels' death that I thought was very disrespectful, him and his female host. Let's check it out.
Once it was kind of confirmed, there was on Twitter basically reveling in the digital streets.
Oh, dancing.
I'm talking about people
Dancing.
pulled out kazoos. They had cakes.
They had bouncy houses.
They had bouncy houses.
I don't even think people celebrated this much when Hitler died.
I mean, they were.
This man has caused so much strife and has inflated men's heads to like they are.
If anything, Kevin Samuels smacked the shit down on men. When you have just a normal minimum wage job thinking you're going to get a good woman, he'll just straight up tell you you're a fucking idiot. Find a better job and start working on yourself. He says these things. I don't think he's ever really put men on pedestals like that, ever.
What was those things they used to float through the sky real big, but they blow up?
Blimps?
Yes!
That's good, Angel.
I was like, what?
You might be the first person I ever thought who couldn't come up with the word blimp.
What's the one that blew up?
The Hindenburg?
Goodyear blimp?
No.
The Heisenberg or Heisenberg?
Yeah, I think so.
Heisenberg is Breaking Bad.
I was going to say that
Hindenburg.
word. Hindenburg is what I was thinking of.
I know it Hindenburg. Start with H and Hindenburg.
That's booty tape
That's
for
the
you.
word I was looking for. Hindenburg. It has really had men out here truly believing that it is okay. And I mean, men were doing this stuff before him, but he really popularized it. Making women who are of a certain age or of a certain look feel as though they are worthless. So
I'm sorry if you feel that way. It's not my fault. That's your feelings. All right? We're just telling you what men feel and how men view and operate, and it hurts your feelings. Sorry. Suck it up.
it's kind of hard to be saddened that he gone.
Yeah.
That their leader is no longer here. What are you going to do? What is high value man?
Value man.
What are you going to do? That sounds, first of all, it sounds like a generic drink.
High value man?
High
Let me
value.
get that high value man.
That's most extraordinary. That's Dos Equis.
A high value man sounds like I couldn't afford the Pepsi, but I got the high value pop.
That's the Shasta.
Yes.
The shot stuff, man.
You
Now, speaking of high
Walmart?
value man, here's
Oh, so this is how you guys are playing it. So as high value means like great value or something like in Walmart's and Target brands or something. Is that what you're trying to say?
rumor.
Come on, give it to me.
No, actually not rumored. All the things said that he passed away in an apartment he was subleasing or subletting,
Of course.
which I will just say, I thought that because he was always high value man, he was the high value man. I thought he would have, maybe he had multiple homes and he just happened to be up in the apartment. But
So if I owned a condo or an apartment that was 3 bedrooms, you don't think I would want to rent out the other 2 rooms just to make money or save money? That makes financial sense. Just because I can spend doesn't mean I will spend. Like, this is crazy to me.
I know the prices of the homes here in Los Angeles. I know the prices of the homes there in Atlanta. If you was a high value man living in Atlanta, you probably should have been in a home. From the way you were speaking about high value men, I assume you were of the ilk of the high value.
You remember he used to shoot in that little dark corner with the light not even on him?
Yeah, I don't.
Where your high value lights?
I just can't believe they did this after his death. Like, it's... I don't know. I don't know what to call this.
Turn up the Kelvin, because it's too low. I don't want to revel over a man's death. However, he added nothing to the world but hatred.
Wow. And what do you add to the world? Like, nothing but hatred, huh? Crazy.
But oh, how the mighty have fallen. Mr. Kev on stage probably thought he would get some more eyeballs on him once Kevin passed. And so many content creators did exactly just that. But guess what? Nobody gave a damn about Kev on stage, really. And so Kev on stage started to decline. And now he made this video begging for help. Now stop
I mean, he's still getting 77,000 views, so he's still making good money.
the show. You will never see Kevin Samuels do what Kev on stage is about to do, but we're about to hear some real begging so he can keep his operations open. Let's play that clip.
Yeah, I wanted to clear something up real quick. I realized I said this at length on Patreon, but I didn't address it in the public. So as you noticed, I've been promoting Patreon more and more, especially the last week or so. And I never really said why. So I'll just be upfront with you like I was with the Patreon yesterday. Podcast revenue has been down around 70% for me in all my podcasts.
Okay.
Josh, Angel, and Greg salaries are dependent on podcast revenue. And it used to be tremendously lucrative and I was able to pay them and all that type of stuff, but it's downturned tremendously.
Wait. So your business went down because you're not putting enough into it or whatever it is, and you're asking your customers / audience to help fund or help pay the bills? Was that what's going on right now? Because that's pretty sad. Like, why would you do that? Like, this is just like the OnlyFans models and most of these other women that ask for money because they deserve it.
So instead of having to lay them off or reduce their salaries, I decided to give the Patreon audience and you an opportunity to help.
Thank you for this great, wonderful opportunity to send you money, good sir.
Basically save their jobs. I'm not even, to put it plainly, in order to help keep them on payroll, I'm going to offer more stuff on Patreon, more shows, more exclusive content, things like that. I asked my Patreon if they could increase their monthly gift by $2 or $3.
Wow.
And I'm asking more people to join so that I can continue to keep these people on payroll and other creators around be able to help them do what they do, pay some of their bills as well. One question I get a lot is
he like losing that much money? Like, holy cow. Like, this is...
what about the app? What's going to be on Patreon? What's going to be on the app? I will always make the distinction on what's going to be on the Patreon and what's going to be on the app. But the people I mentioned, Josh, Angel, Greg, they don't work for the app. So what the app does doesn't directly affect them. They work for the podcast part of Kev on Stage.
Then you might need to reduce your staff, brother. Like, why are you asking us, the audience, and the patrons to pay for your employee? You should be doing that yourself, or finding ways to earn the money to pay for your employees.
Studios, and that's the part that's been hit the hardest. And also the Patreon, as a result of starting the app, was also hit very hard. It dropped tremendously. So I used to be able to supplement their salary even when podcasts drop by Facebook revenue or Snapchat or whatever. But if you hear in the news, Facebook says they're not paying creators anymore, Instagram's not paying for reels anymore, things like that, that's where that supplemental income was coming. So I really don't have the extra businesses to offset that. So I told the Patreon, I'll tell you, if you want to continue to see these podcasts and see all that stuff, then it's gonna have to come from people like you. Otherwise,
damn. For me to keep running, please give me money. Like, I could understand if the please keep me running, come and view my stuff. Like, that's a little bit different to me. But to ask for money straight up like that, that's so classless.
I just won't be able to sustain it personally.
My, Kev on Stage, how the mighty have fallen.
Again, I'm not here to revel in this gentleman's downturn or anything like that. I'm just here to kind of watch and enjoy this because, I was a big fan of The Godfather. I really was upset when so many people made content trashing him after he passed. It was ridiculous.
Very interesting that you would actually put yourself on camera and say something like this. Dusty, how pathetic can you
O'Shea.
Actually be?
I'm happy that O'Shea's doing this and he's doing all of the bad stuff. I just get to enjoy and put my input into this.
It's the opinion. And this is one of the reasons why I'm saying pathetic. Content creators, and I believe Anton Daniels talked about this, are making not less money than before, making more money than before. Literally with Facebook and Snapchat and all the other opportunities, you can have all that you want. The problem is Kev on Stage is not that good. That's the real issue. And I'm not saying that he's not good because I don't like the guy. I'm saying that he's not that good because he says what? Well, he's lost 70% of his income.
That makes sense.
That means that he's not that good. If you lose 70% of your podcast, you're not that good. Or other people are just better than you, which is what happened, right? A lot of guys are in the podcast game now. They're in the podcast game strong, and they're good. If you're doing the same thing you've been doing all the last 8 years, 9 years, I'm looking at this guy's YouTube page, there's no thumbnails for the most part.
Oh, wow. Okay, I put way more effort than he does. Even when I first started, I had thumbnails immediately, even though my thumbnails were pretty shitty. I admit. Even my thumbnails now are probably not the best. I could probably do a little bit better, but I'm not so artistic or anyway, so it's just a difficult thing for me. But I do put in a lot of effort. When I started this, I put in almost $10,000 into all the equipment that I have. Filming, the microphones, the lights, the rig, the cameras and everything. So I jumped in, both feet forward kind of thing.
He's not investing in this stuff for the most part. Strategy is Dusty. He doesn't care.
Yeah, I just reinvested. Like I showed you guys, I bought some new equipment to help make my visuals look a little bit better. I hope everything looks good. Let me know down below. And, my mic, I just changed up a little bit some things. Tell you guys the truth, I fucked up. I filmed like 8 videos. And when I got that new hardware, and I fucked up all 8 videos, and I didn't realize it. So I had to record all 8 videos. The good thing I'm like ahead like 5-6 days, but it was devastating.
Well, what do you expect, bro? You're not even serious. Like, just go and look at somebody like Fresh and Fit's page, and I don't want to even give them a shout out, but
look really
look
cool.
at the presentation.
I agree.
Look at the effort they're trying to put into the game. That's not what you're trying to do. You're over here talking about you lost 70% of your income because you haven't tried to do anything right. And you have merchandise, all these avenues, and you're on here dry begging like a grown man, asking people to spend more money on Patreon. And then you want to go head on and say, hey, can you help us on the app? But I can tell you who never had to do that, Kev on stage, Kevin Samuels. See, Kevin Samuels and even content creators like myself, we never have to ask for money. Want to know why? Well, I think it's because we're pretty good, right? It's called reinvest.
I do enjoy both, and I've always liked O'Shea. So I mean, he makes a lot of videos, and all of his videos do like 100,000 plus. So he's doing very well.
Into what you do, but a lot of you guys, you're so used to making a lot of money for so many years, you feel like your audience owes you everything. Your audience owes you everything to keep you and your people employed. How about you keep your people employed? You're the employer.
True, you have to earn your audience. I try my best to do the videos you guys like. That's the whole point of making videos.
You're the person that needs to go out there and figure this stuff out. Don't make your fans figure it out. I've been on YouTube for like almost 10 years now, right? I have never asked my fans to help me keep my operations open. Want to know why? I find out what they want to hear, what we want to talk about, what's the strategy, what's the great collaborations, and I bust my tail to make sure those things happen. You know what I mean? And these are the same kind of guys who will go out there and hate on somebody like Kevin Samuels, a guy who went and worked. He worked until he died. He went and did what he had to do. And he didn't sit up here and beg for donations like a guy like this. And I just think that it's really pathetic to do that. You hear the black church guys doing it, but YouTubers coming to your audience talking about we've lost 70% of our income. Can you help me? Do you know how much money YouTubers make? This guy is making over $1 million a year.
Oh shit, I didn't realize he was making that much. That's a lot of money. So yeah, I'm only at like 800, 900 a month. So nowhere close to that.
Pretty sure. Maybe you need to downsize your house, bro. Maybe you need to sell some stuff from your crib, bro. Maybe you need to get out there and make sure that your staff is taken care of. But you can't do that because you want to come out here.
That's the thing. This is why I did it the way I did it. I paid for everything. I do everything myself. I do all my video editing. I make all my thumbnails. I do everything myself because it's okay. I don't have to pay myself. It's, like I sacrifice the time and effort to learn to do all these things. So I don't have to pay anyone or, so I don't have to spend more money. And so I can save some more money. I don't know what this gentleman does, but seeing his videos with no thumbnails, that trips me out because I know for sure thumbnails are quite important when it comes to YouTube videos.
You're in bed, but that's okay. Begging is what some folks do. But hey, so. In Kevin Samuels' memory, don't worry, bro. I'm gonna leave you something. I'm gonna leave you a nice.
It feels the same type of entitlement as the OnlyFans girls and all these Instagram type girls. Because you're my fan or you're my viewer, give me more money. I deserve more, kind of thing. Like earn it, make more content. Do more content that people want to see. Make your content look better.
Tip here, right? I'm gonna leave your ass alone.
Fucking O'Shea.
So guys, what do you think? It's your boy O'Shea Duke Jackson. Back at it again with another episode of The Celebrity Junk.
Shout outs to O'Shea. Shout outs to the Godfather. May he rest in peace. This gentleman, I only put this out there because it's just kind of a warning. Don't be like that. Don't trash people at work, on social media, anything. You can have disagreements. There's nothing wrong with disagreements. Like I said, I disagree a lot with what Pearl, what Fresh and Fit say or do, but I still respect Pearl, not as much, but I do respect Fresh and Fit. they do help the niche out, and they do help men out. I may not agree with everything they say, but I do agree with a good chunk of it. Please like and subscribe down below. I really appreciate that, and I'll catch you guys next time. Ciao.